The Big Lerf Podcast, talking LRF and more. Hello and welcome to the Big Lerf Podcast. I'm Ben Bassett and I'm here with Rich Salter.
Hello.
And Joe Mole.
Hello.
Hello guys. Just here to talk about what's been going on in our lives recently, fishing wise, and we're going to go through our top 5, so I thought it'd be quite fun today.
Yeah.
Fishing's pretty rubbish at the moment, so that's what we're going to talk about. So speaking of fishing, what have you guys been up to? Rich?
Went fishing yesterday actually. Met out with Kev Farnell, and we headed up to Portishead Marina in the morning.
Yeah.
You've been up to Portishead Marina, haven't you?
I have.
It was that sort of session. Yeah. We scratched around for some gobies.
Black gobies?
Black gobies. Oh, well, actually, Kev had a few black gobies. I had a rock goby.
Ooh.
Missed countless bites. And a little bass that picked up the isomi off the bottom.
Yeah, I was nice surprise.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it's always nice, isn't it, when you're sort of not expecting something to pull back and it takes off. So yeah, that was nice.
Good.
But yeah.
Did you go for some perch afterwards?
Yeah, we went to Bridgewater Docks actually. I've never fished there before.
No, me neither.
Interesting. It's basically the end of Taunton Bridgewater Canal, so basically holds everything that canal does. Quite an urban, interesting mark. Some interesting characters knocking around there.
Okay, yeah, Bridgewater's a bit dodgy, isn't it?
But yeah, it was stacked with rudd feeding on surface, so we had some fun targeting those.
Nice.
Ticked another one off.
What were you catching them on?
Split shot rig. Started off with a little tiny bit of like white isomi to get
them feeding.
Yeah, and then was using a little crazy fish whitebait.
Yeah, that's the sort of perfect little lure for that, isn't it?
Yeah, and they weren't sort of really on it, but you sort of pull it through the shoal, get them chasing, and then they were picking it off quite nicely. So
it's definitely about movement with rudd.
Yeah, and like obviously when they're shoaling, that bit of competition. So that was good. I had a little scratch around for some perch. Kev had a nice one, so that was good. Yeah. Cool.
What do you have his on?
He had his on a Candler's little black paddle tail, actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I had my tiny...
Is that on like the fat ones?
Yeah, little short, stubby ones on there. Really good, actually.
Got real thumping action on them.
Kev swears by black lures in that sort of murky water, so that was quite interesting.
And he's had success, so...
Yeah, exactly. Right, he knows what he's doing there as well, so...
That's cool.
Yeah, interesting.
Joe, any success recently?
No. No, so I did Exeter Canal the other day, went down to Turf Locks pub, fished there for a while, just no action whatsoever, cycled through lures, eventually got onto one of the little boat docks, messed around with a little 4-inch pike for 10 minutes or so, just watching it attack the lure. It was quite interesting because obviously it would cast out, retrieve, and you'd watch it eye it up, and it would come in and swipe it from the side and things like that. It was cool seeing the actual fight and how it predated on the lure.
Yeah.
I was using a little Keytech Easy Shiner. And
classic.
then,
nice.
Classic. And then at one point I did have 2 perch and this pike that were all the same size and not phased by each other, had all 3 in a row. So it was perch, pike, all sat next to each other, just watching this lure go back and forward and messed with them for a bit. Gave up. Found out there was a hog roast going on, so treated myself, had hog roast and lemon drizzle cake. So
nice.
That's great.
That's not a bad day, yeah.
Sat in the sunshine, so you win some, you lose some.
Indeed,
and sometimes you get lemon drizzle.
Definitely.
Exactly, everything's fine with lemon drizzle cake. No, that's not bad. I mean, I love this little pike. It reminds me when I was a kid fishing in the rivers. Seeing those tiny little pike was just so fascinating.
Yeah.
Proper little mini predators.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because they're young and they're a bit more naive. Obviously, it stayed out in the open for so long, but it gave me that opportunity to watch all the different ways it sat in the water. Like at one point, I lifted the lure out of the water and it sat at like a vertical angle, just looking straight at me. Obviously, because that's where the lure last was, and it just stayed in that position, obviously waiting for it. It was, often get to see, especially the bigger pike, doing that.
No, not at all.
That's pretty
They're
cool.
a bit wiser, aren't they? So
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen some crazy things about the turf locks. I mean, I've seen pike launching themselves into shoals of roach, and just the whole bit like how mackerel do it.
Yeah,
and the water erupting.
Yeah,
it's incredible down there. Hard to catch them like that because they're just full up on the real thing.
Yeah,
so you really got to imitate a dead one or a dying one.
Yeah, it's much more difficult to fool.
Did come across a big dead pike as well that was dragged up on the bank.
Oh, really?
Been chewed to pieces So
Oh dear.
Like otter or?
possibly not. The little teeth marks in it looked like it, but he'd been stripped. It was just head and tail left.
Wow.
But
Interesting.
that's the biggest pike of the day.
Just dead.
Yeah, just dead.
Fair enough. Yeah, I'm obviously saying to you guys before, like I've probably had more blanks this year than I've had in the last 2 years combined, I think.
Yeah.
Not sure what. I mean, I've been trying different things maybe. I think maybe I've tried a few hardlers and stuff to my own detriment probably. But yesterday I had a really nice session out on the on Mountbatten. Just sat there in the sunshine, just picking out the occasional wrasse, Goldsinny. It was like Ballon, Goldsinny, a couple of tompots, and a lovely coloured porcod.
Yeah, it's nice.
Beautiful one.
Yeah.
Really, really nice. And I was like so careful not to. I've been like trying to hold him as gently as possible, just on the gill plates, trying to not to lose some of the scales.
They are the hardest fish to sort of not damage or get them
awful.
back in good nick, aren't they?
Yeah. There's just no safe way to hold them except maybe the lip, and then they look awful with a lip grip.
Yeah.
They don't look good at all. Like you just There's some fish that really sort of suit a lip grip, and they're not one of them.
Porcod's not one, is it?
No. They're almost like you need them to go immediately into a tank, and you could like surgically remove the hook, like just do like long nose forceps or something,
Yeah,
just to not damage them.
definitely a delicate fish, aren't they?
Yeah,
You look at them funny and they just go belly up, don't they?
Yeah.
Just-
It's a shame because it's a real hard fighting fish.
yeah.
Like, for their size, I thought you always think you hook a wrasse when you hook one,
Yeah,
and they always dive into the rocks and stuff, don't they?
yeah, they can be good fun, can't they?
Yeah. I also saw I was doing okay, but the shag that was swimming around with me as a male in his mating colours
Nice.
looked absolutely stunning, and he was like cleaning up.
Was he?
Yeah, so I don't know if he was catching pork or whatever, but he was doing really well.
Yeah.
A lot better than me. But yes, we've gathered today. We're going to do a little bit of fishing in Mountbatten again, aren't we?
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. See what we can pick out.
That's
Definitely.
going to be the main event for the fundraiser, isn't it?
And yes,
So-
leads us nicely into that actually. So we're going we're going to the fundraiser in July, so 8th of July.
Yep.
And we're currently just putting together all the prizes. We've got some incredibly generous sponsors.
Yeah.
Again, like
Yeah.
everyone keeps just like knocking out of the park. We've got Magecraft, we've got obviously Kitech IMA, got HTO who've been super generous again.
Yeah.
I'll stop actually there. I just want to say how impressed I am with those rods. I probably don't give HTO enough credit.
Yeah.
But what they've done actually, like the Aikido and the Nebula Light Gamer,
Yeah.
are both genuinely really lovely rods. And I think anybody, not even starting out, I would quite happily fish with a Light Gamer all the time.
It's all positive coming from them, isn't it?
Yeah,
I've not
really
actually used one, but everything I've read about them has been positive.
I think
really impressed with them.
if you get a chance to fish with one, you should definitely just try it, because I was really impressed with the rods, particularly for the money. Very, very good. So just a thank you to them as well. Obviously, Magecraft and the rest speak for themselves, but maybe HTO just need a little bit of love. But very, very good. We've also got some new sponsors that we can't yet announce, but we're going to be announcing very soon.
Yeah, exciting stuff.
We're going to sponsor in the junior section, potentially very exciting.
Yeah.
Just going to say there's some very big names that have been bandied about there. And then we've got jonnylerfer, Tonego Max, we've got Osmond and Crag, Street Fishing London.
Callum? Is it
Callum's doing it again, so Cam Fishing does, he's doing it again. I've probably missed some, I've got so many literally names swimming around my head, but all of you are just incredible, so thank you for that. The main thing we need obviously is that we're raising money for Tackling Mines. It's 20 quid for a ticket, and obviously whether you turn up or not, you can, you're raising money for a good cause, and also you get a free t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
So if you go onto our Ko-fi site, so that's Ko-fi, so it's co-fi of FI, so that's co.uk/the Big Lerf.
Yeah.
Or is it .com? It's .com, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And if you go on there, obviously you can buy a ticket, and I think we're raised nearly. What are we on? How much money are we on now? Quite a lot. About 500 quid.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. So about 500 quid. We've got like 6 or 7 juniors signed up already, so it's all building up nicely.
Yeah, it's looking positive.
So we're just looking forward to seeing you all there. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, can't wait.
Brilliant. And lovely. So we're going to go into our sort of top 5s, I think, right now. What I'll do is I'll list mine first.
Okay.
And then we'll compare.
All right. Yeah.
So we're going to go first. I would pick my top 5 LRF species. Now, it's always hard to pick a favourite.
Yeah.
I'll go for them 5 up. So,
okay.
So my 5th one is the Tompot Blenny.
Good one.
Yeah,
Classic.
I love a tom pot. I think as well. I was catching them yesterday, and they're just full of character.
They are. Yeah.
I really, really like them.
Yeah, cool fish.
Number 4 is long spine sea scorpion, and obviously scorpion fish. You just can't knock them.
LRF poster boy.
They are. Yeah, they're brilliant. Number 3, tub gurnard.
Yeah.
Ooh.
The tub is just, I know Joe, I know your love
Get
from.
excited.
Yeah. And we'll compare these in a minute. Number 2, top knot,
Yeah.
because I just think that's just, you're never sad to get a top knot, are you? It's
No.
just the best thing ever.
No.
And number 1's flounder. It's obvious
Of
one
course.
for me.
Of
Yeah.
course.
I just love them. I just every year I get more excited about catching them.
Yeah. You do love a flounder, don't you?
Yeah, they're just everything I want in a LRF species.
Yeah.
You know, they're
Yeah.
just large enough to be like a really satisfying fish to fight and hold, but it's also being like kind of easy access as well.
Yeah.
You come in nice and close. You can try different lures on them.
Yeah.
Just the perfect species
They're
for
a
me.
good one, aren't they?
Very good.
So, Rich, let's list yours.
All right. Bottom up. Top knot at number 5.
Okay, yeah.
Do love a top knot.
Yeah.
You know, as you say, you never grow tired of catching them.
No.
They're rare enough to be a prized catch, aren't they?
Yes.
But quite doable, especially around our sort of marks that we fish.
There's always a chance of one turning up.
Yeah. Next one, pout. I know some people get
Pout.
fed up with them.
Interesting.
But I do love a pout, especially a better sized pout from knocking around the boulders and that.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
They go hard, don't they? They sort of.
Yeah, they're not like a real showy fish, but they are a surprising fight on that.
Yeah, it's quite satisfying, flicking a paddle tail around over the rocks like of an evening as it gets dark and getting smashed by
They hit it hard,
decent
don't they?
sized pout.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do hit it hard.
And they'll hit big lures as well because they've got a big mouth.
Yeah. I've always found it quite satisfying to catch those. So
Yeah. They're kind of a bit the ones around Torbay, I think.
Yeah.
You get some lovely sized ones there.
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Lovely colours as well.
they're always a good one.
Interesting, that's good.
Yeah, mackerel.
Mackerel.
Okay,
yeah.
great sport fish.
Yeah.
Always. Torbay, you can rely on them almost all year round.
Yeah.
Fight hard, and another one you can play around with.
I feel bad that I've left Scad off the list.
Or this is why I said though this was unfair because there's 40, 50, 60 species you could choose and we got to choose 5.
I know.
It's a tough
The
one.
mackerel's a good one. I mean, the mackerel's probably like I've said everybody knows about mackerel, and
Yeah.
but I think I'd probably argue that LRF is the best way to catch them.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no better way.
Let's just get a jig on and just cast out in
Yeah,
the summer. Brilliant.
there they are. Next one, Scorp.
Yeah.
As you said, LRF poster boy. Again, one you're always pleased to see, aren't they?
Yeah.
Bring a smile to your face.
That's true. They
and-
make a hard day better, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And top for me is Ballon Wrasse.
Of course.
Yeah, love a wrasse. Never get tired of catching them. I would
Would
say.
you say that's your overall best, favourite species in the sea?
I would say so. Yeah, I would say though, I wouldn't target them specifically on LRF gear. They're more of a HRF fish, but when they show up, they're always
and you land them.
Yeah, and you land them. They always give a good account for themselves, don't they?
Yeah, even the small ones.
Yeah.
You always know you've hooked a ballon compared to like a gold tinny or even a corky.
Yeah.
They're just so strong.
They're brutal.
The colour
Yeah.
variation as well.
Yeah.
Isn't it? You don't know
Yeah.
what you're going to get.
No, literally.
When one comes out and they've got those ridiculous blue spots and everything on them.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Another nice one you can play around with lures, can't you? They're
Yeah.
quite obliging. Even metals in the right spots you can catch.
True.
So yeah, do love a ballon.
Nice. That's a very different list to mine, so that's
Yeah.
cool. That's
Yeah.
interesting. Okay, Joe.
Yeah, so starting at number 5, mine would be the long spine scorps.
Yeah.
So again,
So that's made all our lists. That's
Yeah.
not that surprising, I guess, but yeah.
it's an LRF fish.
Yeah, it's on our logo.
Yeah, it's on our logo.
Yeah.
I know bait fishermen occasionally talk about, but it's an LRF fish, isn't
Yes,
it?
yeah.
It's one that we go after. Ballon in number 4.
Number 4, yeah.
Yeah, again,
So that made your guys' list. That's interesting, yeah.
yeah, cool markings,
Yeah.
hard fighter. Again, when you can land one on the
Yeah.
LRF gear, it's mission complete, isn't
Yeah.
it? With those ones.
Yeah, I was going to. We'll just talk about Ballon briefly, if that's all right. Because I was just thinking while I was fishing Mount Batten yesterday. Quite often you hook up to an absolute monster in there.
Yeah.
And I was thinking quite often, I don't know what the ratio is, but LRF seems to pick out some really big fish,
Yeah.
particularly Ballons. And I was just wondering whether it's probably the because they're seeing big stuff all the time. Like a small bit of food is probably quite safe to them
Yeah.
because they get released a lot. Ballons, don't they? This very rarely get taken.
Exactly. Yeah.
So-
thankfully.
Yeah, funny you say I fished Hope Snays, which is notorious for being the cesspit of,
Yes,
of
it is.
fishing.
It's
It's
a terrible
horrendous.
place,
It's the worst stuff you see happen down there. But I was fishing with a split shot rig with a size 20 hook on with a speck of isomi, just dropped it down the rock and had my biggest ballon.
Yeah.
And again,
Did
there's
well
all
around
these
it.
big baits and stuff like that, big lures and all sorts. But again, it's that thing of it's probably not seen something tiny and
Yeah.
tasty,
Yeah.
and it's an easy meal, isn't it? They haven't got to fight it. They haven't got to
No.
chew at it. They can just swallow it.
And
Yeah,
often they
yeah.
are just grazing, aren't they? They're just like
Yeah.
moving through the rocks, picking off bits here and there. That are sort
Because
of
they are a fish you can actually sometimes get an opportunity to watch.
Yeah, yeah.
You can, if you find like a clear gully, and
Yeah.
like sometimes when the tide's pushing in, even the smaller ones, you can sort of watch as they're sort of picking at stuff. You can watch them picking at your lure sometimes, can't you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And they'll like lift up your weight and they'll do frustrating things.
Yeah, yeah, they
And
do.
they're quite an investigative fish, really.
Yeah,
Very,
definitely.
Yeah, a real fascinating one. I can see why people get, obviously, I can see why they've made your list because they're a really fascinating species.
Yeah.
yeah, cool fish. So number 3
Yeah.
is garth.
Ah, yeah,
Garfish.
good choice.
Yeah.
So difficult.
Yeah,
They can be extremely difficult.
Yeah.
You can do a whole session on garths and struggle to pick one up.
yeah,
Whereas
Yeah.
you can tweak it just right and you can fish after fish after fish.
yeah.
So
What
yeah.
strange species they are.
They are,
Some
aren't they?
species launch themselves around even when you've hooked into one and you're like, I've got it.
Yeah,
That's it. It's breached the water and it's flung the yerk and
yeah.
Yeah, they are
all
fun,
of
aren't
that.
they?
So,
They're really fun. I mean, if they didn't stink, I
Yeah.
think I would love them even
Yeah.
more. I mean,
yes.
if they're around, I always want to target them, and I always regret it as well.
They do.
That's like,
They're messy, stinky fish, aren't they?
they are. There's almost, again, talk about fish that are almost impossible to handle without taking the scales off. Like, gar are one of those.
Yeah.
They're really
Yeah.
tricky.
Definitely.
Yeah, you ain't lip gripping one of them, are you?
No, exactly. You just, I mean, I think I try and get them like underneath the gills, like try and pinch the.
Yeah,
You can kinda
that
get a
more
foot-
meaty
yeah.
bit.
There's a
don't they?
meaty bit, yeah, underneath there. We can kind of hold, and then you hold the sort of tail. You
Yeah.
get quite a cool picture that way.
Yeah,
Because they're a really awkward fish to hold and take a picture of, like just on your own.
they really are. Yeah.
Because you only ever get a
They
headshot.
move and
Yeah.
they spin as well, don't they?
Spin, yeah, and whack their. And sometimes, obviously, you see people, particularly when bait fishing for them, they break their beaks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. They get probably like up there with one of the most mistreated fish in the sea, I reckon. like bait
Definitely.
anglers.
Yeah, it can be absolute carnage, can it?
Yeah.
Like,
Because people just don't like them at all.
No.
Yeah, they're
No.
delicate fish, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're incredible hunters. If you watch them feed, they're amazing.
Yeah.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to be a little sand eel around them.
No.
Yeah,
no.
you ain't getting out, are
There's a
you?
lot of teeth.
Yeah. And they're fast, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's
fast.
a cool. I'm glad our lists are so different. This is really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, so then in number 2, we've got mackerel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
again, it's
Yeah.
just, they're good fishing.
Yeah,
The lighter you go, the more fun you're going to have.
that's true.
And it just, again, reminds me of summer, reminds me of like fishing on the boulders, and when you just get these huge shoals when it's like, it's something out of a documentary, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's when you're seeing the birds dive in and you've got the bigger fish hitting them and you've got the small fry leaping out of the water. It's
Yeah.
just,
Yeah.
it's chaos
It
in
is.
the best way.
Yeah.
They're really good fish for testing out a setup, aren't they? Like your rod and how it handles, you know,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the drag of your reel, because they always push it to the limit.
They
don't
really do. I mean, I've like times where I've nearly been broken off or been broken off by big ones where I've just played them too hard.
Yeah.
And they've got so much strength in them. They put more pressure on than their actual weight.
Yeah.
They just never stop going,
Yeah.
do they?
Do you remember that one that I had? I was using a 10-gram rod, and that was at Dawlish, and I hooked into that big one. We were going for Gurnard.
Yeah.
There's a really good picture, I think Rich got of me. I don't know if it was, but I'm like leaning into it, like
Yeah.
really leaning into it. That was an incredible fight. I still think of like those sort of ones when you
Yeah.
catch some absolute beasts. So my biggest ever was about nearly £2.
Yeah, that is a
Yeah.
beast.
Yeah, and that was. You think how old that fish must be and what it's done to survive?
I bet it's travelled some distance as well.
Yeah, gone probably all around the country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are incredible species. And probably super underrated. And as we talk about getting mistreated, you know, they do quite
Another
badly.
one that's not
Yeah.
treated well, but
Yeah, but we
deserves
have,
a lot of respect.
yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Completely, it's good to see it up there on your list.
Yeah.
Um,
And then number
yeah,
one,
least surprising ever,
yeah, Tub Gurnard.
of course,
Tub Gurnard.
Mr. Tub Gurnard.
I love them. I love the way they look. They're
Yeah.
just they're a mythical being, aren't they? They're
They
just
are.
Yeah.
little dragons. All
Yeah.
those colours, all those spikes. They grunt.
Yeah.
There's
Loads
a
of
lot going on
character.
with them.
There's nothing not to like about Tub Gurnard
No.
because they fight quite good as well. They're not like incredible fighters, but they. I like how you can always tell you've got one on.
Yeah, they're quite dogged, aren't they?
Yeah,
So
you get like a nodding fight.
Yeah.
Thump away, don't they?
They
as they
do,
come
yeah.
in, and they're good experimenters.
Yes.
I've had one on everything.
Yes.
You name it, you can chuck a lure out, and they're quite happy to
have a go at it.
to have a go. They're not fussy. They
No, they
big
must
mouths on them. And
Yeah.
and they hit it hard.
yeah,
You always get a nice thump off with the ganners.
yeah,
Because they've got no teeth, so they just have to hit it hard, don't they?
Yeah, very
But
true.
they will literally hit anything. They've got invitation for like crustaceans, fish, whatever you want. Like they'll go for it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Really fun fish to go for.
And just look like a photo of a gurnard. You get it right. It's
Oh, so
Oh,
good.
yeah.
it's a stunning fish to take a photo
Yeah.
of.
They
It
are very
is.
satisfying photograph, aren't they?
Yeah, and I guess because they're doing it for defence, but they put their fins out, don't they? And they always get that lovely blue on show.
Yeah.
You know, they're a terrible one to put on. If you put them on the ground, they look terrible.
They just fold up, don't
Yeah.
they? Sort of look very...
They're definitely
Yeah.
one that you have to kind of like. If you get a lip grip on them,
Yeah,
they're also quite difficult fish to lip grip because they've got a smaller underslung mouth,
Yeah.
haven't they? Because you have to put your
yeah.
thumb quite
And
far.
you
in
have to
there.
watch the top of your thumb because obviously they've got the serrated top lip.
Yeah.
So they take a bit of getting used to handling wise.
Definitely.
Yeah, because they are spiky, aren't they, as you say?
Yes.
They've got a real armoured head.
once you've got it, they make for a good photo.
Yeah. Well, I mean, probably no one's. Well, I've certainly not caught half as many as you have. It's
They
Yeah.
excite me greatly.
That's good. It's an interesting list. I mean, are there any there that you guys are sort of surprised to hear the others? I mean, I think Mackerel is good to hear on all the lists.
Yeah.
Except for mine, obviously. But yeah, I think I was looking at my list thinking I'm quite ground centred. I was off the rocks and stuff like that. I haven't gone for anything that's pelagic really.
No, which surprises me because you do like a bit of that.
I
don't
do.
you?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I think one thing I didn't list on there that I would have liked to, but maybe I don't catch enough of is the couch's bream.
Yeah.
That's-
I could quite happily put bream generally
Yeah.
on that list.
Because black bream are great,
Yeah.
so obviously honourable mention for them.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Any of us you can think of that you would have liked to, if you had a bigger list?
I don't know. I was almost tempted to put like Pollock in there, quite a,
Yeah.
a staple. Again, quite satisfying, ready to take a lure, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're hit and miss, aren't they?
Yeah.
A small pollock
Is the
is
most
an
disappointing
annoyance.
fish. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not worth your time. Big pollock is totally different fish.
Yeah.
isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They fight.
I mean, a pollock over a pound will easily smash you up if you give them a chance.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can go right into the rocks.
They really do crash dive, don't they?
Yeah.
Straight down.
Yeah,
Really
talking
good.
of Mountbatten fishing there today.
Yeah.
When we fished there a little while ago, I was getting beaten up by them left, right,
That's
and
right.
centre.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
it's
they're a
interesting,
good
isn't it?
fish to go for. And
Yeah. Yeah, they're really, really tricky fish when they're bigger. But the thing is, you don't see the really big ones from the shore that often.
No.
we don't
Like-
have the depth, do we?
No.
No.
They're generally seen as a bit of a nuisance.
So, well, certainly not here anyway. I mean, we get all the juvenile fish in the sort of shallower sort of
Yeah.
stuff, south coast. But I think off some of the shores in like Scotland and Ireland, they get some really nice sized ones.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they get the collies as well.
Yes.
I think if we were fishing for collies more, they'd probably be on my list.
Yeah, they're a good hard fighting.
Yeah. And they were my
Well, they're
bogey fish for
different,
a while.
Yes,
as well.
they were, weren't they?
Just
Correct,
kept dropping
weren't
off. Yeah, I've got them now. Yeah, but that's what a fish. Love
Shout
it.
out for cork wings as well for me.
Corkwing, yeah.
Yeah.
I was surprised that wasn't on your list.
That's why I had to choose a wrasse. I felt
Yes.
and balance just about one out, but yeah, corkies are great.
Yeah, I think I prefer corkies to balance, but just because of the colours, I think.
They're a more LRF suitable fish, I'd
They
say.
definitely
aren't
are. Yeah, because it's not really even the biggest corky is manageable.
they? Yeah, exactly. So
Though there's nothing better than the big corky when you see one.
and they scrap, don't they?
Yeah, and the males they're quite aggressive as well for a small-mouthed fish.
Yeah,
Like they're really they really hit your lure.
they do.
hard.
They don't mess around, do they?
Talk about experimenting with lures. I think they're quite a satisfying one to like real scale down Texas rigs,
Yeah,
or like scale down like a little weedless rig and bump that around. If you can avoid the big balance, they're really good fun.
yeah, they are. Yeah,
We've done a bit of like more like light game, medium, sort of lurfing. Yeah, for those sort of things, it'd be really good fun.
yeah, definitely.
Interesting. Well, yeah, it sort of wraps up our top fives. But obviously, if it's interesting. I'm sure people who are listening will have their own
Yeah,
ones of the species. So we're going to go into the techniques now, and so top 5 LRF techniques. So I think obviously there's a lot less choice, I guess, here. So it'd be interesting to see how we're doing
yeah,
here. So I'm going for my number 5 is probably going to be a surprise to you, but split shot rig.
yeah.
I've come around to the split shot rig. I used to think it was just a hook with a split shot on it, which it is.
Yeah.
But it's so useful
Yeah,
for just sight fishing in particular. It's absolutely essential, I would say, particularly for the mini species. But
yeah,
I think there's so much give in it, and there's so much options with obviously the amount of weight you can put on.
Yeah,
That it is a really
it's
helpful.
a very versatile rig, isn't it?
It is,
I was
yeah.
talking to Joe briefly about that on the way
Yeah.
up. Actually, it's a really good option in snaggy ground. It's a lot more cost effective.
Yes.
It's efficient and for hookups. Because the hook is your last piece of as opposed to a drop shot where you sort of tend to sometimes not get a fish to fully take the lure, if you know what I mean.
Yes.
You can give a fish a bit more.
Yeah, the main thing I would say, the main problem with the split shot is the chance of deep hooking is a little bit higher.
Yeah.
Because you can leave it for a little bit longer. If the fish is it's just sitting there nibbling, you may not feel that.
No, there is that slight loss of sensitivity, isn't
A
there?
little bit. Well, the drop shot gives you more because it's right on the rod tip.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Number 4 is drop shot.
Yeah.
Obviously, for some reason, people get funny about drop shot. I have no idea why. Particularly, I know we in saltwater use it a little bit differently to how it's used in freshwater.
Yeah.
And there's a real snobbery about it. And
There is, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't really understand it. It's
No.
a really useful tool. And when you're fishing in deep water and you want to get small lures down,
Yeah.
it's absolutely essential, I would argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And works really, really well. Then I've got another one which is even more snobbery probably towards it, but I don't care. It's a snooty drop shot.
Yeah.
Snooty drop shot is like my searching rig. If I'm particularly like flounder, gurnard, stuff like that, in the winter where I need to fish real slowly,
Yeah.
snooty drop shot. I mean, when we were up in Hartlepool, that was like my main used rig. It's just
Yeah.
because it's just you can thread the lure right up onto it as well, so you get the hook just right on the tip.
Well, I think that's what sorted out the dab for everyone,
Yes.
wasn't it? That rig.
Absolutely essential, I would say.
Maybe not Joe.
Carolina.
Classy. Yeah. And then for me, it's jig heads. Obviously, I know there's so much variation there, but
Yeah.
there's a sort of broad spectrum. I just love fishing with a jig head, particularly. I mean, I've really fell in love with over the winter period fishing with ultra light ones on Ester line.
Yeah.
Just flicking tiny little soft plastics around. I just love that satisfying.
Yeah. I'd agree with that.
Yeah, it's and also you've got so much variation. You've got like the shape of it, the size of it, different hook sizes. Passionately love jig heads.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the top one is metals.
Yeah.
Metals are just the best, and there's so much tartiness you can get involved. They tick all the LRF boxes for me.
Yeah.
And I think with the invention of like the ultra small ones as well, that's just like broadened my love for them.
Yeah, it really has sort of changed the game, really, hasn't it?
Exactly.
The micro ones.
Yeah, though it is still. There's few things more satisfying, like on a warm summer's day or evening, bit better, casting out like a 5 or 7 gram metal, blasting it out, just letting it float to the bottom, or just retrieving it in mid-water, and just getting those huge hits from mackerel, scad, gurnard.
Yeah, really satisfying fishing, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, that for me is like just perfect fishing.
Yeah.
Absolutely love it.
Yeah, agreed.
Cool. So what about you, Rich? What's your top 5?
Okay, I've actually got split shot at number 5.
Interesting.
Again, I used to turn my nose up at it, didn't like it.
Yep.
But it's just a really practical, cheap way of fishing.
Yes.
And it's effective. Like you say, if you're sight fishing, which is not really my bag, but it's really the only option, isn't it? Apart from a cheb, maybe with
Yeah, cheb. I mean, I think drop shot sometimes, but when you go like proper micros, split shot is the only way, really.
Really scaled down stuff. Yeah, it's really effective. Used it yesterday to great effect. Well, I say great effect, for the minimal success I had at Port's Head. Next is a cheb. Love a cheb for knocking around in the rocks, especially dropping down holes. Searching on the bottom. Really versatile. Again, you change hook size, can't you?
Yes.
To suit whatever you're fishing for or fishing with.
Yeah, it's funny. Probably don't use it enough. I would say the cheb.
Yeah,
I know because Joe uses it all the time, so I don't need to.
Yeah, I've got that covered.
Yeah.
Joe's got chebs covered. Next is metals. Love a metal. I mean, again, you covered it really, but yeah, it's really satisfying way to fish. Really sort of pure, clean way to fish, isn't it?
Yes.
Like, great for searching around. Great for when the mackies are in, obviously.
Yeah.
Garfish, all sorts of stuff.
Mackie's in, mate.
Yeah, if it's pelagics, then I think metals are probably
The best
way to
way.
get on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next drop shot, probably the chosen method if I'm species hunting hard,
Yeah.
down walls at distance. Like you say, it's so versatile. You really shouldn't turn your nose up at it because it's a great way of presenting the lure.
I agree.
So much you can do with it.
Yeah.
and top jig heads, soft plastics.
Nice.
Really nice way to fish, isn't it? It's like
Again, you talk about sort of pure sort of experience. That feels very pure to me, jig heads.
Yeah, I think I said it before, it's like it was the thing that appealed to me most when I sort of stumbled across LRF, you know, that sort of jig head, little paddle tail or ball, probably Shirasu or something, you know. You can use it for, you know, bumping around on the bottom for scorps and things, or again for the pelagics. It's just really versatile, isn't it?
Brilliant. They're literally everything from like scratching around on the bottom to fishing with water or even top water. So.
Yeah, and that's where the real variety is, isn't it? Like profiles and colours, and you can really mix it up, can't you?
Yes.
So something to suit everything, really.
Agreed. Yeah, good list. That's very similar to mine. That's interesting. Okay, Joe.
Right, so in at number 5 is the Carolina rig.
Yeah.
So again, nice and easy to set up. It's got a bit of versatility to it as well.
Yeah.
The fact that obviously you can change hook size, you can add glow, you can add beads, you can do this, that and the other with them.
There's a little bit more to it, isn't there, than the other rigs, I would say.
It's like a refined split shot rig, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know,
because you don't have the resistance, obviously, because the weight's it's free running.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that is good.
Yes, it's quite good for that lifting and drop and things like that as well, which is puts a lot of action into the chosen lure that you have on the end. In at number 4 is the split shog.
Split shog?
It's
like a hedgehog?
Hedgehog. But I also use split shots as well.
Okay,
so,
nice.
Yeah, they work well. Again, like we've covered, cheap and inexpensive. You can have a very expensive day fishing chebs and
drop shot,
things like that. You can spend a lot of money on one rock, can't you? Essentially,
absolutely.
Just decorating the rock.
Yeah, just making it look sparkly. But it's easy.
Yeah.
Especially like pre-tied hook to nylons, things like that. Competition settings and things like that. They're just quick. You can just flip between them, flip between hook sizes, flip between weight and things like that. So they can just make your life a bit easier sometimes on the fly.
Yeah, that's expensive.
Like
so
yeah.
And then following that would be the jig heads. So again, they're just tarty, aren't they?
Yeah.
Get some cool looking jig heads.
Yeah.
And as you've mentioned, Ben, obviously you can get the real tiny ones now, things like that. They've been a game changer, haven't they, lately and stuff. Like herring and things like that are really cool to target with the tiny little jig heads.
Yeah.
So there's so much available to us now as well.
Yeah. Only getting better as well.
Yeah.
More and more choice.
Yeah. And then we've got the metals at number 2.
Yeah.
Again, it's the same thing as the jig head. We've got all variations and sizes, shapes, weights, and that colours. It's a tackle tart's paradise.
That's it. Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Well, your tackle box has got like a million different variations of like that, whether it's like vibe style lures or it's like, I mean, so many different types you've got.
Yeah, they're just fun to play around with, aren't they? It's one of those, if the fish are feeding, especially the mackerel, you can change between so much just to have a go, and you know you're going to catch a fish, and you can see how well they work then. And then number 1, cheb.
Of course,
yeah.
Just it may not even be the most effective for me. I just think they're fun.
Yeah, you just love a cheb, man.
Get great joy from using them, don't you?
Again, colours, stuff like that. I'm like a magpie.
Yeah.
But again, adding whatever hooks you want. You've got nice close contact. You've almost got a jig head in the sense, but you've got that bit of movement in the hook as well.
Yeah.
Again, they're my preferred approach for like big sandy areas and stuff like that, where you've got no chance of snagging. And I think they just work well with bouncing lures on the bottom, which means number 1 cheb, number 1 tub.
Yes.
Both work well together.
The combination.
So
interesting. Yeah, so obviously I think we're all similar on the board there, really. I didn't mention cheb in mine, but I do like them. I just probably don't use them enough.
Carolina was a good shout as well.
Carolina is a good shout. Yeah, I find that I'm possibly a bit lazy and just don't set it up. I think the situations where probably the Carolina would do better than a snooded drop shot, but I find myself tying the snooded drop shot more.
And I'm the other end of that scale.
You are.
I've used the drop shot once this year.
Yeah.
Didn't use one at all last year.
Yeah.
But used the Carolina, and I think that slight bit of laziness comes into it, and I'm just like, I don't want to tie one right now.
Yeah.
But then I'll happily tie and sort out a Carolina. So.
Interesting. Yeah. It's funny how obviously we all fish together and we fish together very regularly, for years now,
Yeah.
and yet we all do things slightly differently.
Yeah, definitely.
It just shows even within this like niche of the sport that we do, there's lots of variation.
So much.
Yeah, and we can target the same fish, really.
Yeah.
I remember when we were going after the catcher's bream and things like that.
Yeah.
And we were all getting them on different techniques. Metals, wasn't there? There was drop shot, there was chebs and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Yeah.
we all had our like top fives in there, and we're all getting the fish we wanted with slightly different
ways,
techniques of doing it.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's what keeps us obviously excited for every new season.
It is, yeah, very much so.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, we'll move on to, obviously now we can talk about lures and artificial baits. So obviously we bundled this in together. Obviously, you know, whatever your opinion is of what a lure is and whatever, but we keep it all under lures and artificial baits. So top 5 for me. Number 5 is Mercu Ice and Glow. Okay.
Yeah.
So for me, obviously just a staple. It's probably lower on my list now because I've just been exposed to it for so long.
Yeah.
It's just it's so normalised that I just don't really think about it now.
You don't appreciate it.
But I will say yesterday, not the glow stuff, but just the brown stuff.
Yeah.
That outfished everything else.
Did it?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So that was
Just standard brown.
standard brown isom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just wanted whatever the reason was, they wanted that instead of everything else.
Yeah.
Interesting. Number 4 is the Magecraft Nano Agi, the little metals.
Yeah, of course.
I love them.
It's got to be in there.
Yeah.
For you and that.
Absolutely love them. I just like what you can do. You can customize them. You can add hooks and.
Have you ever made a list of what you've caught on those?
No, I probably should.
Because it's got
It's
to
a
be
lot.
quite the list.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's they've really opened my like world of species hunting up, and
Yeah.
it'd be cool if some other companies did them as well. Don't get me wrong, they're perfect, but it'd be good to see some different variations as well.
Yeah.
Trying different things. There are a few out there, but yeah, I really love them. And then we've got Berkeley Gold Poison. I think it's just better. I think it's particularly the natural colour is it's just ridiculous. It's so soft, and it's like when you really need a bite and like you're struggling, it's cold, your fingers are hurting because it's the bitter,
Yeah.
you know, and you just need a bite. That is what
That's
you
the
need.
one.
I'll do it.
Yeah, that is as good as bait in my eyes. I just think it's like it's
Closest
just
you're going to get, isn't it?
yeah. Then you've got the mighty Eco Gear Aqua Shirazi.
Yes.
What haven't I caught on that really? As long as it's like big enough to get on the hook, I've probably caught it. Anything from triggerfish to gurnard to gobies, anything. It's been on there.
They've all had it.
Yep, caught me a nice little ballon yesterday. It's just a brilliant lure.
Yeah.
And irresistible. And there's so many different variations now. Colours, you got some that glow, some that are just a bit more like softer, some are harder.
Yeah.
So, yeah, brilliant lure. And the top one, just for sheer fun, I just love the Magecraft Jig Power micro range.
Yeah, good shout.
Yeah,
Good shout.
just the original. I mean, you've got some really cool colours now have come in. The live colours.
Yeah.
And they are so
The live
sexy.
colours are
And
great,
whether they
aren't
make a difference to the fish, I'd probably not. But like to the angler,
Yeah.
They do the job.
I look at that and I mean they obviously put on the box like not to eat as a joke, but like they do look good enough to eat. They really
They do. Yeah.
So yeah, them I probably feel like top. I mean, I would say Shiraz and them are joint, but I had to put them in order.
Yeah, sure.
So for sheer fun. So what about you, Rich?
Okay, I've approached it slightly differently. Obviously, scented lures are a big part of our fishing, but I've just named one, a Gold Isomi in camo.
Okay,
I think.
Yeah, I associate that with you.
Yeah, it's a good one for the sort of rocky fishing I do. The rockfish love that in particular. I think
Ras crack,
tom pot crack.
Yeah.
Anything in the rocks crack really. So I just picked my favourite scented lure because you sort of chuck them all in one, really, can't you? Everyone's got their favourite. Next, the Crazy Fish whitebait.
Interesting,
Yeah, particularly in freshwater, I think that's really effective little soft plastic.
Yeah, so you do more freshwater than me.
Yeah, put that on a split shock or a really light jig head or cheb, and it's really good for picking up like silvers or wasps or whatever.
For those who don't know what that is, just describe it.
It's like a really stubby little bull tail lure, isn't it? It's like a
tiny though, isn't it? The ones you
it's I don't know what it is, probably
like half an inch, are they, or like?
Yeah, well, it was probably 10 mil, I would say. So yeah, really small, little soft plastic. I guess it's sort of in between imitating like a maggot or a really small bit of fry, isn't it?
They work really well for the rudd and stuff.
Yeah, rudd love them. Had a few on them yesterday. roach, any freshwater fish, or even saltwater. I've not really done much with them in saltwater, but
No, I guess they definitely would work.
yeah. But I had to put that one in. Next, 9/7 tungsten micro tails.
Interesting.
Done a lot with those in the last few.
So they're paddle tail.
They're really short micro paddle tail. Again, I don't know what they are. 1.5 inches at the most, maybe an inch.
Very small.
Yeah, really small. And there's not that many really small paddle tails out there, is there?
No, true.
But yeah, again, I've done all right. Again, freshwater, I've had everything from like dace, obviously perch, chub.
Are they scented?
I don't know that they are. Again, I never really checked this, but
just wondering.
yeah, but they're just really good. Nice, and they've got a really nice sort of little wriggle on them when you're pulling them through. And again, in the saltwater, I've had quite a bit on them as well.
Yeah.
So they're good. Magbite booty shake.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, they've been great. They're how do you explain those? Another little micro lure, aren't they?
Yeah.
Got a sort of spear-shaped tail.
It's like a spear tail. Yeah.
Yeah, but they look really natural in the water, don't they? And I used them a little bit.
I have interest. Which way do you rig them? Do you rig them so the tail flaps up and down, or to side to side?
Flaps up and down.
Okay, yeah, that's how I do it as well.
Yeah, so they sort of cameras.
It's like undulating, isn't it?
Podcast, so you can't really see what I'm doing
No.
but it's,
He's sort of wiggling. He's wiggling his hands in a suggestive manner.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, like you say, undulating is a good way of describing it.
Yeah, that's how I describe it anyway.
Yeah, but I picked up all sorts on those. You know.
They come in the real micro sizes, don't they? Up to like 2 inch.
Yeah, so you can. There's a bit of variety in there, all sorts of colours. But yeah, I've had sort of brass bream.
And they're scented. They've got
they've got sort of oily scent on them, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not sort of. You can keep them dry if you know what I mean.
Yes.
They're not in a liquid or anything, but they've got quite a pleasant smell to them, aren't they? Out of the pack.
Yeah, they're really just great effective lure. I think. I definitely converted to those over the Big Lerf Weekender.
Yeah.
I was really impressed with them.
Yeah, they're really nice lure. You get all rounder really, aren't they? Anything will pick those up.
Yeah, I like magbite stuff.
Yeah. Last one I put on is Jackal Tide Beat.
Okay, yeah, you're a big fan of this.
Yeah, I do. I've again really versatile little paddle tail, but a really tiny paddle on it. So it's quite a tight little wriggle on it when you pull it through the water. Almost wormy in profile because it's so thin at the end. It's ribbed as well. I've had
some good stuff on there. But you were catching cod on them in Hartlepool.
Yeah, I had cod and scorps, all sorts. Smelt, pout, poor cod, pollock.
Yeah.
And they're a nice one in the freshwater as well. One of my first picks for like chub and things like that. So
nice.
Yeah.
It's a very soft plastic heavy list.
Yeah, I'm getting right into me soft plastics lately.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
They're things that I buy loads of and then rarely use.
Yeah.
I'm terrible for that.
Yeah.
I probably should give away a load of them because I've got so many. I mean, I always open up the packs and have a little play of them, and then I just fall back on my. I'm more excited about metals. I think whenever I've got hard plastics and stuff. I don't know why. It's just weird how my mind works.
Yeah.
But I always associate you, Rich, with soft plastics.
That's it's my thing, I guess, isn't it?
But I'm quite interested in what Joe's got to say on his list.
Yeah, I've got a varying list. So I've got in at number 5, Isomi.
Okay,
so again, it's that starter.
Yeah, Morocco, Isomi.
Yes, yeah. It's that starter lure, isn't it? I think it's what most people end up picking up fairly quickly into it, and it stays with everyone as well. Getting perfect for species hunting and stuff like that. It's just a good all-rounder.
Yes.
That one, and it's one of those that's going to be here to stay, isn't it? I think everyone knows what it is.
Yeah, and it's thankful for it when it comes around to sort of species hunting time.
Yes, definitely.
And then following that, we've got the Bremer Vibe by EK Gear.
I knew you could pick something along those lines. Yes,
needed to have something a bit more unusual.
They are cool. They are really cool. Try and describe them.
So they come in plastic or metal.
Yeah.
Little prawn body shape.
Yeah.
It's with that. I'm doing it now. Doing what Rich is doing and describing with my hands. Curved tail. So yeah, it's a prawn in escape mode, I would say.
Yes.
And then it's got little frilly rubbery tendrils at the front, and then you've got the two
assist hooks.
Which
kind of form like the sort of tentacle antenna sort of thing, don't they?
Yeah.
Very clever looking.
Yeah, and then weighted towards the bottom of it, and obviously pull it through the water, it just vibrates away.
Real tight vibration.
Yeah, it's real strong vibration on those ones. They do really good.
The only thing I'll say about them, I absolutely love them, but I have noticed the hooks rust out on them.
Yes.
They're not saltwater hooks for some reason. I don't know why they haven't done
they
that.
last that long, but if you switch them over to the, it's completely gone out of my mind now.
But you can add like the assists on from any other assists as well.
Yeah,
so
you can get some real small assist hooks which are perfect for them and stuff. So
yeah, it's not too bad.
They do really well, and it's cool lure
really
to catch
cool.
fish
Yeah.
on. So, and then following that is the Zesta Afterburners.
Oh, great choice!
Yeah,
I should have added that.
I didn't think you was going to have
I'm feeling regret actually. That is an incredible metal.
It's a cool metal.
Yeah.
It flies, doesn't it, as well? It flies. It works with the water perfectly.
Yeah.
It's
I would say I've got like, if I need, that's probably the one of the most I've got the most faith in. Like the free ground version.
Yeah.
It's just so perfect for like almost because it's like the perfect bait fish imitation.
Yeah, they're good on there.
Like a lovely tight fall. I'm doing the same thing on here, imitating with my hands. But yeah, I'm doing like a little shimmying fall with my hand.
They do. Yeah, drop through the water really nicely, don't they?
Yeah.
And just
Good
fish
choice.
like them.
Yeah.
And then following that one, I've got again, lure's relatively new to me, but I've just had a lot of fun with them. Is the major craft, the Mackie Jig,
yeah.
Just with that added blade on the back of it. It's almost like a teardrop shape lure, isn't it? The actual body of it starts quite thin, descends to quite a bulbous end, flat on the one side, rounded on the other, and then following a little treble hook and then this little spinning blade. They work really well.
Really good trigger bites, I think. You get those.
I've had quite a lot of mullet follow them. I did hook up to a mullet last
you did.
year with it.
Yeah, I was with you.
Hook and that, but
that
I'm going to try that again this year.
Yeah.
Again, anything with a flash is really good, isn't it? It's that panic response of a fish escaping, which triggers the predator fish to go after it. So looking forward to playing with them a bit more this year and seeing what else you can do with them.
Cool.
And then number one for me, just because I've had fun with those as well in the way you can rig them, is the Kitech Sexy Impacts.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah. Again, got that squid scent that works well.
Yes.
You've got the thicker ends, that thin middle bit, then the fatter tail, which then leads into the little pintail.
Yeah.
So they've got that good wobble in the water and stuff.
They are very sexy.
Yeah, they are sexy indeed.
Yeah.
Good on stand-up jig heads and things like that as well. Was doing that a lot last year with the gurnard and the bass. Was getting so many bass on them.
They really look like a sand eel, don't they?
Yeah. Fishing off the rocks was just bass galore. When I wasn't catching them on anything else, I went back to the Sexy Impacts and was straight on them again.
Great for rats too.
Yeah, they're just good all-rounder.
Good choice.
Good in the freshwater as well.
Yeah,
nice. Comparator as well, aren't they? Yeah.
That's interesting. I think we've covered a lot there. That's a lot of interesting lures.
It's a very Joe list, by the way.
Yeah, that was good.
It could have got a lot weirder.
If you're doing like a top 10 or a top 20, that'd be just such a bizarre list.
I'd have to start learning Japanese.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many cool. I mean, any sort of ones that could come to mind. I was thinking about think of cool ones that I associate with you, Joe, a little bit as well. Is like the Majorcraft Chinu blades.
Yes,
they're cool with a double hook on the back.
I also associate you with those.
I love those. Yeah, because they're sort of designed. I had a nice Pollock. Remember that time? Bumping around the rocks.
That's right. Yeah.
And like for a metal, you can actually fish them in quite snaggy areas because the hooks are upturned. So and they sort of bounce off and they're very nose heavy. So you kind of hit the nose first. You can lift them off the rock. I've gurnard and various things. I had a pike on one before as well. And
cool colours.
Yeah, really cool colours.
Is it the cola there?
Yeah.
The cola coloured one.
Like red cola colour.
It's the red and black. Just it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool colour.
Again, it sort of goes into that sort of magpie nature of us.
Yeah.
So me and you are a bit more like towards I'm pointing to Joe there. More towards like the metals, the vibes, and various things like that. And you got more soft plastic vibes going on in yours.
Yeah.
It's a good all-rounder for the trio of us, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. I think we cover a lot of those actually, so that's really cool. Obviously for you guys listening, again, you're sure you've got your own techniques and artificial baits and lures that you're into, and we're always interested in people on the group sharing them.
Yes.
Particularly if they're, obviously we like to show support to our sponsors and stuff. And if you want to like put a post up saying about your lures and just promote some of that, we don't like seeing straight promotional shots from like shops and things. But if it's genuine from anglers who just really like using them or excited to get them,
we love to see it.
We love to see it. Share it, especially when the fishing's rubbish.
Yeah.
Just post it up. I think Steve Rodden's been doing a few bit recently. And,
exactly.
Like from 97 Tungsten, and like you've got, it's just we encourage all of that.
Yeah, definitely.
Show me your weird lures.
Yes,
That's
a demand from Joe.
Just the
show the weirdness. Brilliant, and we'll probably just finish up today because we've covered a lot of stuff there, and just wanted to talk about we're currently working on issue 3 of the Big Lerf magazine.
Yep.
Issue 2 is out at the end of the month, so we're recording this on the 16th of April. So we're probably looking at a couple of weeks' time it'll be out.
Yeah.
So we're all excited about that. The first one reaction to that was really good, really positive.
Yeah.
So we're just hoping to build on that.
Yeah.
And keep going.
Keep getting bigger and better.
That's brilliant. And again, just one last sort of plug for the fundraiser. Please guys, if you want to do it, just, show a bit of support and buy a ticket.
Get your tickets.
That'd be really good. And I mean, obviously we haven't mentioned it in this one because we mentioned it so much throughout the winter, but we've obviously finished with the Winter League. It was incredible, and
it was
what a success. We've got the roundup happening the final roundup is in issue 3 of the magazine. There's a big sort of like write up on it on issue 2, and it was just a huge success. I think everyone's got their prizes now. Really happy with them.
Yeah. It was good to see the posts about those, wasn't it? Like everyone happy with their prizes, shouting out the sponsors and stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. There was what I wanted to single out. Obviously, Pender's had enough love and all that sort of stuff. I wanted to sort of talk about Andrew Saywright.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, because he's, as far as what he said, he's only been doing LRF for a few months, I think. It's not he didn't say it's very long.
Relatively new to it, isn't he?
Yeah, and like the King of the North, we put it together literally for people like him.
Yeah.
It was to give people that obviously who don't have access to like 30, 40 species on their doorstep.
Yeah.
Because obviously the Scottish water, North Sea, it's cold, it's difficult.
Yeah.
The likes of, we've always shouted out, Kev Benton and people like that who have done incredibly well. So just to see what Andrew did and to put out an eel pout.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
Yeah, that was a lovely way to...
It was so good.
Clinch the win, really, wasn't it?
It really was. So, I mean, obviously, congratulations to everybody. I mean, Will Birch, what he did in the junior category was phenomenal.
Yeah, brilliant. The juniors
him and
have
Tom just
gone up to next level, haven't they?
Yeah.
Really pushing it.
Yeah, because I think Will would have, if it was last year, Will would have finished in the top 3, I think, or top 4.
Could well have done, yeah.
Yeah, in saltwater, which is just amazing, you know, because certainly he doesn't drive.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Like, just on it.
Yeah, incredible. And obviously I look forward to seeing what they're going to do in the fundraiser, because that junior category is going to be really good fun.
Yeah, that's going to be hot, isn't it?
Yeah, hopefully we'll see if we get another fish off, but
yeah,
I do hope so. Yeah,
it was really good fun. So we'll finish up there, but yeah, thanks guys, and we got our next podcast. I think me and Joe are going to be interviewing Jack Perks, so that should be good fun. So look forward to that. Anyway, we'll see you guys soon, and tight lines.
Cheers.
Cheers.
The Big Lerf Podcast, talking LRF and more.